Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Coach's Corner here for JFK Eagles boys soccer. Anthony Ledeenko with me, fifth year in the program as the head honcho. Coach, when you look at that, the 5 years that you've had here probably gone really fast, especially with the challenges and the successes that you guys have had throughout the way. What has it been like for you? It's got to be a whirlwind.
Well, being an alumni, getting the call back in 19 to just come help with the girls program, they needed an assistant. So getting to do that, and then 2020, they needed a boys coach. I think I'm ready to do it. That year we went 0-16, so that was tough, but, first year coach, first year adjustments, dealing with COVID and everything, that was kind of tough. But, yeah, it's really flown by, and, it's just been, like you said, a whirlwind for sure.
The challenges. You mentioned the 0-16 season. How do you look at that and see kind of where progressively this program has come?
Yeah, so, that year we really weren't 0-16 bad. We had a culture that needed changing completely, and I think that, these kids that have come in, my first four-year class that graduated last year, and then these kids the second year in, that were freshmen that second year, where we went 9-6 and kind of turned things around. They've played a huge part, and it's all about changing that culture. So, 0-16 to where we are now. We went 9-6, 14-4 district final appearance, 12-2 last year. Right now we're struggling a little bit, but all this was built to perform in the playoffs.
And I think that's what people miss is like JFK is just world renowned for always, doesn't matter what program it is, going up against whoever wants to scrap in the yard, right? Do you think that mentally makes your kids better because of that? Because they're not worried about towing the line against anybody.
Well, for me personally, being here, playing for the program, being an alumni, that's the sort of thing. It's like, why can't the soccer team be a good program? We got all these great programs, so again, the last couple of years we've proven we can hang with the big boys. That's all we've ever wanted to do. That's all I've ever wanted to do is be able to put this program up on a pedestal to everybody else say, hey, we may be Kennedy, we may be good at football and basketball and baseball, but, you got to start respecting us. And, the kids like that challenge. So,
is it hard to keep the focus on the postseason, right? When you're going through one of those tough seasons, you mentioned this one's kind of been a rough one for you.
Yep.
Is it hard to kind of say, hey, guys, listen, keep your hand in the pile because the postseason's coming. When that happens, we're going to be ready.
So, going into the year, we told everybody pretty much in January, the goal this year is to get better every single day. And that's at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. If you can get better every single day, by the time you get to October, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So sure, we got a huge, crazy schedule. Looking, we graduated 6 starters last year.
Yeah.
You're at 9 kids that never played the sport before.
Wow.
So it's tough, but at the same time though, it's getting better every single day because there's no playoff requirement in soccer. We all get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's about challenging yourself now, so that when we get into the new Division 5, we're ready to hit the ground running.
9 guys have never played soccer before.
For the most part.
Okay.
9 freshmen, and they're freshmen, and the kids are upperclassmen that are athletes that just never played before.
How do you, I don't know, how do you let them chug the game? Varsity soccer is very, very hard.
Yeah.
It's very challenging. How do you play catch up like that throughout the year? Is it just one game at a time?
Pretty much, yeah. It's one game at a time, and it's just kind of like teaching them the game, trying to explain concepts to them. For us personally, a lot of the kids in the past and this year specifically have come from different backgrounds of sports. So it's trying to explain the game of soccer in those sports. In the past we've had a lot of kids from the basketball team play for us, so it's explaining the game of soccer in basketball terms. And once you do that, then it's like, the light bulb clicks. It's like,
as a guy that grew up in this program, that graduated from this program, now leading the program. A lot of names, a lot of people networking. How important is it for you to bring other people and understand the JFK way, what the K stands for, all of that? How important is it for you, and how do you translate that to them?
Well, so, that's pretty much, a lot of times it is told to the kids, basically, to remind them, hey, there's been a lot of guys that have paved the way for you guys to be where you are today. I'm like, well, now that I'm here coaching,
Sure.
I'm super, super obsessed with the history and everything. So I got real into looking stuff up and looking up names and figures and records and things. And so, I'm always telling kids, in 2002, we had a team go 0-16, right? Went to the regional final, won the next 6-7 games, whatever it was. You know what I mean? It's like, keep telling them, hey guys, there's these guys that have played, Eric Bofakamp, you had, Pat Hall, Mark Groner. You had a lot of great guys go through this program that were just phenomenal athletes and were just, good soccer players. And it's time to, teach them the history. Because if you look at football,
yeah.
Everybody knows Anthony Elsie.
Yep.
Everybody knows, James Coates, for old sports and old stuff like that. So it's like trying to remind people, hey, this needs focus too.
That's tradition as well.
Yeah.
For you, who are your stars? Who are the guys that you lean on a lot, especially in a year like this?
Yeah, so I mean, we have Nick Ryan coming back. I mean, he was a 2-time All-State player, so I mean, he's huge. I mean, he's got pretty much, I think he's got 11 goals this year so far in 8 games.
Slam dunk champion, by the way.
Slam dunk champion, by the way, absolutely. That's why I remind people, I mean, this kid won the dunk contest.
He's amazing.
He's just a freak athlete.
Yeah.
It's infectious to be around him. I mean, he exudes confidence. He exudes just a good time.
That whole Ryan family pretty good at soccer.
Oh yeah,
as I understand.
Athletes in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, his other brother Dom, so he's playing too. So I mean,
Yep.
he's a great athlete as well. I mean,
Big dog of the valley.
Big dog of the valley right now. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. So everybody go vote for him.
There it is. See, we get plugs everywhere.
Plug, yeah.
Who are some of the other guys?
Yeah, so another senior, Christian Swager's been playing for 4 years. He's a utility knife. He can play everywhere.
Yeah.
Gio Femia, he's another guy who's just been 4-year starter. I mean, just absolutely amazing player, amazing kid too. So another senior, Matt Wagner. He's been moved around a lot. And then other than that, it's like just we're starting 3 to 4 freshmen a game.
Yeah.
Big one, Anthony Brzezowski. He's been just like probably the best freshman we've had come to the program as a freshman.
Yeah.
Just technically sound, very good on the ball, knows the game well. So that kind of helps the other kids that maybe aren't prepared or maybe aren't ready.
Yeah.
He helps dictate traffic for those younger kids.
For you to put this all together, right? And I mean, coaches know it's a struggle. You've had it for 5 years. How would you go back and talk to yourself? Like, what tone would you use? What would you say if you can go back and say, when you started this is where we are? What would you say?
Well, I mean, my first game I ever coached was against Girard, and the year before they lost 10-0, I think it was.
Yeah.
So going into that, I'm like, as long as you don't lose by 10 goals, you're good.
Everything's up.
Lost by 11.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? So it's just in that moment, tell myself, hey, dude, just forget about it. And eventually the storm's going to end, and, you're going to be ready to go. And you're going to have kids come through that know the game or want to play the game and are willing to learn and willing to get better every day. And that's just pretty much what it is.
How's your coaching style changed?
It's pretty much that first year it was tough because you're coming in thinking, hey, the girls just won a district championship. I was part of that staff. I'm thinking I know a little bit more than I probably did. A little too confident. Going into that first season, it's like, there's nothing you could do, really. It was just a train wreck. So, I mean, that first year with the girls and then all the way through, I got, I guess, less and less intense.
Yeah.
A little bit more loose, a little bit more lax.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's all about, it's all how the kids act, how the kids are going to react to your situations, and how you're going to talk. So it's basically bouncing stuff off them and seeing, okay, can they take this? Can they handle this? Okay, do we need to do this? Do we need to do that? So it's just kind of like changing every day almost sort of thing, evolving, trying to just, again, survive and just get better every day.
We ask the kids all the time, their role models, who influences them. For you, I mean, you're a younger coach. Who influences you on the daily basis and who kind of put you in the position you are today?
So, constantly, though, I'm looking at, motivational videos, looking at special coaches. I mean, I'm always going back to Jim Valvano. I'm looking up Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson stuff, Kobe Bryant. I mean, that sort of thing kind of gets me in my element, getting ready to go.
That's awesome. Phenomenal. Coach, best of luck to you. Thanks for sitting down with us today. Appreciate you
absolutely.
always. Take care.
Thank you, too.